Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here and welcome back to another Division video. And in today's video, I want to talk quickly about what is, in my opinion, one of, if not the best SMGs right now. The high-end Vector 45 ACP. Now this video isn't going to be a full-on weapon review like I did for Tenebrae last week, or like I have planned for Liberator next week. This is instead kind of more of a PSA to those of you guys that perhaps haven't got this just yet or are looking for a new high-end weapon to go alongside your build. I will have a full review on this weapon at some point in the future, but for the time being, let's just take a quick look. So if you guys do enjoy this video and you do find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated, and comment down below and let me know what you think. So to begin with, if you don't have this weapon, then you can actually buy the blueprint for it at the special gear vendor in the base of operations. You'll find him in the tech wing, and if you scroll down to the bottom, you will find it right here. Vector 45 ACP blueprint, and it will cost you 154 Phoenix credits. But what's really good is that because you're buying this as a blueprint and not a standalone weapon, you can recraft it as many times as you want until you have the perfect roll. And because it came from the special gear vendor and not the DZ06 vendor, it also doesn't require any high-end division tech to craft either, so it's pretty easy to make. In fact, I'm currently on my 7th one and I still don't have a roll I'm happy with. But if we actually jump over and inspect my one for a moment, then this is what I'm working with. In fact, if I strip it for a second, you can see that this is the base model. It fires 750 rounds per minute, it's got a 20 round mag as standard, and if you actually jump back and take a look at it down here, you can see that the base damage for this one is 7,654. It can of course be higher and lower than that because of course when you're crafting it does come within a range, but this is the one I have currently. As mentioned, this is definitely not my final one because I still don't have the roll I want, but this is what I'm working with. But if we then go back in and throw some mods on, you will soon see that this weapon can become pretty beastly pretty quickly. In fact, this will be pretty useful for you guys out there because I've had a lot of questions recently about exactly how I have over 100k DPS when my firearms attribute is only at 1269, and the answer is mods. My Vector mods account for about 50k DPS, which is pretty sizable. So if we start off with the optics and we go down to here, this is actually what I run with. I use this T2 micro red dot sight. This gives me 18% critical hit damage, and it also gives me 6.5% critical hit chance on top of the 25 base percentage that you already have as an SMG, because of course, as you guys know, SMGs have a natural critical hit chance bonus, so I'll throw that one on. Then if we go down to mags for a second, this one at the top is actually the one I'm using, the extended magazine. This gives me 88.5% magazine size and 31% critical hit damage. Do bear in mind you can of course get better ones than these. This is a crafted magazine, so you can get up to 100% magazine size increase, which is really good. And even though the one down here does actually claim it will give me better DPS with a slightly bigger mag, I'm actually more interested in the 31% critical hit damage than I am with 20% reload speed. Of course, you can also get these magazines with just base weapon damage increase, which is also a super good thing to have. But for the time being, this is what I'm running with. And if we then go over to the barrel and you scroll all the way down, this is what I've got currently. 17% accuracy and also 26.5% hip fire accuracy, which is of course, again, pretty useful for an SMG. If someone runs up on you, you can kind of just sort of like spray from your hip. And then finally, if we jump over to the muzzle, I'm currently using the compensator, which again gives me more horizontal stability, but also gives me 27% critical hit damage. So as you can see, that's gone from 50k up to 107k DPS, and as mentioned, despite the fact that I only have 1,269 points in firearms, I do still have over 100k DPS and over 100k health. Admittedly, DPS wise, I'm sure you guys will see much higher because you can go way up. You can be pushing 200k if you want to, but my build is not firearms focused, I'm stamina focused, so being able to have that much stamina with that much DPS is a really nice thing to have. So that is my weapon as I use it at the moment. Now you will notice that I don't have any of the talents active at the moment, and that is simply because, as mentioned, I'm currently on my 7th Vector and I still don't have any talents worth respecking for. Once I do snag that God roll, I will be reshuffling my armor to unlock the talents, but for the time being it would just be a waste of time because ultimately they don't really help me that much. That being said, for any of you guys looking for some talent recommendations, ideally on an SMG you're going to want something that will either further increase your critical hit chance, your weapon damage, or give you a greater armor destruction value. Something like destructive is a great perk to have because it increases your armor destruction value by a percentage, which is super handy if you're ever up against any tanky enemies, be that AI or any players in the dark zone. Alternatively, you could go for something like stable to help you with, say, stability of the weapon, but to be honest, if you're using it up close, you can generally compensate for that anyway. So you could then move away from that and go to something like deadly, which increases your critical hit damage by a percentage, and given that SMGs have a natural critical hit chance bonus anyway, that's a pretty nice pairing to have. However, for the time being, even without them active, this thing is just great for melting enemies. This weapon has allowed me to, say, single-handedly take down a team of rogues when I got ambushed in the dark zone. It's also allowed me to survive solo in DZ06 while farming bosses, And when my team and I play challenge mode, it also allows me to rush down bosses with my tanky health and just blitz through their shield. So it's safe to say it is a very good weapon. Definitely one of the best right now. And if you don't have it, I would honestly recommend you pick it up. Even if you don't want to make it right now, just grab the blueprint. Because while this week's weekly reset didn't actually reset the stock, I'd be willing to bet that that was actually a bug, and in actual fact stock should rotate on a weekly basis. So with an update planned for the game next week, I'd recommend picking this up soon, just in case that stock does actually get rotated out and you can't grab it again. Either way, that's it for now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below and let me know if you guys have got this weapon, and if so, what role do you have? And thanks for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.